Happy Monday. Welcome back to Wager Talk TV. This is First Pitch. We're going to go around the horn, talk about every single game, 3 games in depth. However, join me today, Tony Finn, Dave Cokin, and mid-major Matt Joseph. Start with you, Matt. How are things? How was the weekend?
It was good. Yesterday, got a nice win on the first 5 unders. And, look, I was very happy with that Shohei Ohtani struggle because the A's first 5 now got a little tight, but that's kind of what I expected from Shohei Ohtani. So a good weekend.
I had the A's as well, so happy to hear that. That's my 4% best bet on the day. Matt currently riding a 5-1 run to start things off. Dave, things aren't too shabby for you. 10-0-1 baseball run. I want to ask you how you're doing, but I think I already know.
Yeah, and I got lucky on a game yesterday. I think the Diamondbacks were not the right side against the Padres. Zach Gallen really struggled early, and he was really the key for my selection. But, and this is something to mark down, here's a day where Zach Gallen did not have his good stuff, and he still managed to get out of there with just 1 run in 4 innings, which is very encouraging moving forward with him. And then they came back late in the game and got the win. So it's going well right now. I'm happy about that. It's unfortunately, we've already lost 2 games for tonight that are postponed, and I'm just hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that this isn't the start of something that none of us want.
Tony Finn, you woke up today, so it's a great day already to start. How are you doing?
That would require going to sleep. Last night was my all night, so I worked all night, and I don't seem to have. I don't seem to have gotten much done as I'd like to, but everything's good. Everything's good here. I had a night. I had one of their days and match days yesterday. I had a 3-0 baseball day, so that
good.
That helped. Yeah.
And speaking of staying warm, Andrew, it's been good for you, and I know the current run's 13-5 on the diamond. Nothing wrong with that.
Definitely. It's been great having KBO as well, Dave. You and I are talking about, the KBO MLB mixture together, both diamonds on different parts of the world, but it's been enjoyable doing the KBO early morning, MLB major leagues at night. I want to mention before we get into ourselves, guys, Prez does a great job of promoting everybody when they're on runs. I think it's time for me to kind of flip the script and promote him, a guy that's on an unbelievable run, kind of a run that I've, never seen, a run that I want to be on some point in my life. 16-0 all sports run from Lawrence the Prez right now. So I had to mention that. He's doing a 90-day sale right now. Prez 90 is the coupon code to get it for $499. Regular $899. Prez 90 is the coupon code. 16-0 run. I had to mention that. I saw it on Twitter. He just started doing UFC. I believe he's 4-0 or 5-0 right away. So, Prez is certainly proven to be.
Can we get an employee discount on the Prez?
I hope. Start having to message him for different picks. And hockey season is just around the corner. And all of us know that Prez does very well in that. So Prez 90 for that code for a guy that does a great job of, first of all, running the company, but supporting us. So I want to shout out his deal as well. Prez 90 for 90 days, saving a good chunk of change on that. And for ourselves, our deal that we're pushing for the entire season, $399 MLB for each of us, for any of us to get the whole entire season, as well as our packages listed at wagertalk.com and mid-major Matt at sportsmemo.com. One last mention before we get things going. Enough of this advertising stuff. We are very, very close to 50,000 subscribers for Wager Talk TV. We are producing at minimum 4 videos a day, free content, pretty much now 7 days a week. Hit the subscribe button. If you're tuning in for these videos, you look down, you're not subscribed. You want to get the videos sent right to your phone, the alerts. Definitely check that out. We're going to start things off, though. I don't want to do too much small talk.
How many was short,
guys.
First off? How many was short? How many was short 50,000?
I know the exact. I know the exact amount, but I'm not going to say what it is because.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I'll tell you why. I'm consulting right now with Johnny Detroit and Prez about a prize for the 50,000th subscriber.
Okay, well then I'm gonna get 10 names and start pushing them in there, and I'll be that 50,000.
That constitutes voter fraud.
Well, what's new?
Don't do that.
If you have a bunch of Gmail accounts or even just YouTube accounts, go ahead and press the subscribe button. We don't care if you do it under your name on 20 different emails. Hit that subscribe button.
Tony Cokin.
Guys, I heard you had a great weekend with the show. Viewership was great. Nonetheless, we'll get things started. Cubs and Reds is the first matchup we're going to start with here. Mid-major Matt, if I may, I'll throw it right over to you to start things off. What are your thoughts on this one? Side or total? Any plays for you in this one?
Well, I'm not playing in this game, and as a whole for this card, it's kind of an ugly slate. A lot of ugly pitchers I don't like to play, and it's just it's a Monday, and with all the travels. And look, the COVID stuff also. I'm looking at the Reds lineup; it's already out. It's ugly when you look 6 through 9 at Christian Colon, Kyle Farmer, Freddie Galvis, Kirk Casale. There's no Moustakas, and they had a couple guys who went down with the illness. I still don't have any faith in Lester though. I think Lester's past his prime. I don't like what he does. We're going to talk a little DFS, but Suarez is actually not even in. He's batting third. He's got 6 homers and 16 of 42 against Lester tonight. So that might be a guy you want to target. Castellanos with 3 homers as well. I'm not backing Lester here, but this Reds lineup is kind of ugly right now.
What are you backing Miley though?
No. I'm probably going to stay away from this thing. As I said, I'll probably go DFS here. I would like to see the Cubs lineup, but this Reds lineup 6 through 9, after the guys that we know who are good, I don't really like this lineup right now.
What about yourself, Dave Cokin? Your thoughts on this, first of all, for opening matchup for us, Chicago Cubs and the Reds?
Lester threw the ball really well in his last exhibition or warm-up or whatever they called these summer camp games. He looked like the old John Lester. Had really good command, and his stuff was good. The problem is that Lester, last year we saw glimpses of this with Lester, and then he'd go out and have a bad game. It comes with age. He's getting less consistency than he used to. Wade Miley made a lot of news for a while last year because I think he had like 23 starts in a row going with 3 or less runs allowed, and then that ended. And it was kind of a quirky streak anyway because none of those starts were games where he went real deep. It was usually 5 or 6 innings, so they were barely quality starts. I give a little edge to Lester. But really kind of insignificant. One thing you want to watch for, though, with Miley, and this is just a peculiarity, he has more trouble first time through the lineup than second time through the lineup. It's usually the reverse for most pitchers. But he, last year, for instance, had a mid-4 ERA first time through the lineup, and then a mid-2 ERA second time through the lineup. So I dug a little deeper and found out that this is where ERAs can be really fluky, because his accompanying numbers, batting average and whip, were actually a little better first time through the lineup than second time through the lineup. So he had some fluky things going on first time through the lineup last year. It's a well-priced game at Pick'em for me. I can't come up with anything here. I tend to think there could be some offense in the game, but with the guys that are missing from the lineup on the Cincinnati side, I'm reluctant to bet that as well.
So, Tony, I was listening to a radio show the other day, and they were talking about the percentage of the season that's already over, and we're just only several days in, right? So my question to you before I get you to discuss this game is, how quickly do you turn over, instead of looking at last season's results and stats from players, to recency from just this season? How quickly can we really start saying, this is what this guy's doing this year, not what he did last year?
Yeah, I would say I have absolutely no pattern or no outline that would give you concrete answers, or at least accurate and honest answers for that. It's player dependent, and in this case, Lester, Dave's right. Lester, as the season went on last year, he wore down. The age is getting to him, and he was fine early in the season. In fact, if you look at his numbers last year when he played teams that were below average teams, below 500 teams, and lineups that were not going to scare you or me if we were pitching, he did fairly well. And he's got a really good baseball IQ, Lester does. So I like him in the situation, especially that Matt mentioned that lineup. And Wade Miley, listen, he won one game in his last 9 starts. He had a season where he overachieved, and I don't trust him as a fly ball pitcher in this situation against the Cubs' big bats. I would go Lester here.
We had quite a few guys in the chat box over the weekend, from what I saw, and quite a few guys as well. Quick shout out here to Abel, Mike, Jay, Jerry, Johnny Outlaw, Alex, Brad, Martin. Appreciate you guys all tuning in and joining us here on First Pitch. Next game we're going to discuss, guys, Braves and Rays in this one. What a game for the Braves yesterday. I was saying to the guys, I mean, that's it's one of those ones you just you get to sit back and crack a cold one and just think it'd be pretty crazy if you ended up losing it after the first couple innings that we saw in that one. Decent favorites here for the Rays. I'll go in reverse order. What are you thinking here in this one, Tony?
Well, I glanced at this game, and there was about 10 different variables that I was going to have to look at, and then I looked at a couple of what the criteria that I use to begin my handicap and being assessing a game, and it was really jumbled, mixed up. And I know we're kind of on short time because of early games today. I won't go into what those are, but I immediately just after yesterday's game and what the Braves did, and I liked the Braves yesterday. I passed on them. I passed on this game, but for the most part, Tampa. I think Tampa. I think the price is. I think the price is about right. Glasnow against Fulte, but Dave and Matt will attest to it. If Fulte's on, he's as good as they come as far as a third starter goes. And I just find this game really interesting to watch.
And there's no problem with that. That's for sure. All of us are, sports fans as much as sports bettors. Dave, I know that you've been going with the first 5 unders, not the full games. What do you think about the first 5 under in this one?
I don't like Fultonevich. He's just too erratic. His mechanics, and you can tell right away with him, if he's falling off the mound to his left, he's overthrowing the ball, and his mechanics are completely out of whack when that happens. If you see him early and he's not falling off the mound, probably going to be a good day for him. But this has been the problem with him since he came up. He just has a lot of trouble repeating those mechanics, and that separates him, despite the fact that he can throw real hard and he's got a good arsenal. This is what separated Fultonevich from ever becoming anything more than a middle of the rotation guy. And when he's off, he's not even that, because when he is off, he really gets crushed. Glasnow's more interesting. His numbers first 2 times through the lineup they were absolutely great last year. There was a marked decline 3rd time through the lineup. So that's something that I think experience should help. But I think for the time being, Kevin Cash is probably going to look at him as a guy who's more comfortable with throwing maybe 80 to 90 pitches and then giving way to the bullpen so that he doesn't screw things up 3rd time through the lineup. To me, Glasnow's the better guy. And in addition to that, you've got the travel angle, which can come into play, particularly early in the season, where the Braves played a night game and are now going on the road to face a team that was playing at home. Advantage Tampa as far as the schedule is concerned.
Dave, I follow the league very closely, but specifically my team, the jersey I'm wearing right now, the Jays, coming off a series against the Rays, they had trouble getting runs early in games. They had to settle in. It was low scoring and to start things off. Is that worrisome at all for you with this Rays team?
No, they face some pretty good pitching. This is what happens when you face good pitching. You don't get hits. As much offense as there is in the game, and as much as the ball was clearly juiced last year, and I'm sure it still is, because baseball likes home runs, good pitching still beats good hitting. Always has and always will.
Dave Cokin on a 10-0-1 baseball run. Over to you, mid-major Matt. The guys are doing well right now. I mean, starting the season off, I won't hype it up too much. We'll be casual every day about it. But mid-major Matt, 5-1 to start things off in the MLB season. Your thoughts here on the Braves and Rays?
Well, the last time out for Fulte, he had some reduced velocity and didn't look very good against the Marlins. And there was, there was a lot of talk because it was wet and it was not the great atmosphere. And so he's saying afterwards, look, it was the way everything was around him that he's better than that. I don't know if I can trust him. The only 5 Rays have seen him so far. With regards to Glasnow, he tested positive for COVID, so he came into camp late. He thinks he can throw about 5 innings. So to me, the only way, if I was to play this, is probably the first 5 under and hope that we get the right Fultonowicz, and he can go through the order that those 2 times in those 5 innings. And so if I was to play anything, it would probably be the first 5 under, hoping that both pitchers are on early.
That's where I'm looking as well in this one. Once again, the deal for Prez 90. He's on a 16-0 run. That's a 90-day special. Prez 90 for $499. Original $899 for us. MLB seasons. Code is 399MLB for the season for us for $399. White Sox Indians. What a game this White Sox team is coming off of. I don't want to overreact to every single game, but they put up some runs. And I think you mentioned it. We've all mentioned it. The White Sox is a team that the general population is liking this year. Dave, I'll start with you. Indians, White Sox.
Look, there's no doubts about the White Sox offense. It's legit. This attack is going to hit all year long. The questions for them, and they're more than questions, they're problems, is that once you get past Giolito, and I know he had a bad first start, but he'll be fine, and the reliable Dallas Keuchel, you don't have anybody that's a sure thing, and in fact, even close to a sure thing in the White Sox rotation. Carlos Rodon at times looks like he's capable of being an all-star, and then the next game he'll give up 7 runs in 3 innings because his command is no good. I'm blanking on Lopez, who got hurt yesterday, and he stinks anyway. And tonight's pitcher, Dylan Cease, who's got a lot of upside, but the fact is he wasn't real good at AAA, despite his arsenal, and he was not good at all in the majors last year, and the command problems were evident. He's going to have to prove to me that he can pitch at this level. He got absolutely hammered. So, potential is one thing, and actual production is another. Savali will go for Cleveland, and he is quickly becoming kind of a prototypical middle-of-the-rotation guy. He's not going to get a ton of strikeouts. He's more of a pitch-to-contact guy. He doesn't have blow-away stuff. But what he doesn't do is beat himself. He's got really good control. That walks to innings pitched is going to be really strong with him. So you're going to have to beat him. Maybe the White Sox offense is good enough to do that, but I would prefer Savali to Cease in this matchup. I know what I'm getting with Savali. I just don't know with the White Sox youngster.
Tony, a classic game of prices right here. We're seeing the Indians around minus 125. Is that where it should be?
I think it's a fair price. Dave outlined it almost perfectly. Yeah, this is 2 guys, and while he says he knows what he's going to get with Savali, I mean, even Savali, I think going into September last year, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I do recall that Savali in his 9 starts or 8 or 9 starts at the time had not allowed more than 2 runs in a game, and in his starts, earned runs.
Yeah,
so
he did get roughed up in fact, curiously, in his last start of the season was against the White Sox at Chicago, and he got knocked around big time in that game, but he'd been pretty consistent before that.
Exactly, and again, with Cease, his command as the season went on, his command got better, but because I think he had 5 walks over his final 4 starts. So, but that part of that was a product of who he was facing as well as their free swingers. In this case, I agree. Savali is a smart guy. He's got a good baseball IQ. You watch him and you like him. And this Chicago White Sox offense is pretty free swinging. If they barrel a bat up, then they're gonna, then they're probably gonna get you. But you have a chance to get strikes out of the strike zone, get some swings and misses against this lineup.
Yeah, sometimes I like to look at, obviously you want to look at a team when they're hot and look for some runs or a bet on spot. But sometimes I find you see a team that just scored runs on runs on runs, and you realize that the number might be inflated or everyone's going to be on that over. And I might look to the next game, grab the under here. Matt, what are you thinking about this total in this contest?
I mean, I kind of agree with the guys. When you look at Savali, I mean, just to give you, I have the numbers. He had a 2.34 ERA as a starter. He had a 1.04 WHIP. He only allowed 4 home runs in 57.2 innings. And you look at the White Sox hitters. I mean, not a lot of them have seen him before. They've seen him a couple of times, just that one game probably last year. I think his potential is very good. I think Cease's potential is very good if his off-speed stuff's on. And so I don't know if I necessarily want to wait for Cease's off-speed stuff to come. I think like the other guys, I think I want to back the home team in this one.
One other note, by the way, is that, and again, I'm not putting a tremendous amount of stock into bullpens because they can be very volatile. Mm-hmm. They were last year, and you're going to see it this year too. But for what it's worth, the White Sox bullpen got stretched pretty good this weekend. The Indians are going to have the fresher bullpen here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So just to give an opportunity for everyone to go over what they have posted right now, Matt, 5-1 run for you at sportsmemo.com. What do you have posted right now at the website?
Well, also remember it's $9 Monday, and so I got one play up there. My best bet, as I said, I'm trying at least early to do 1 or 2 games at the most. I'm trying not to stretch myself out. Mm-hmm. I got a $9 play up there, and I got a free play that we'll, I'm sure, get into when we talk about that game.
And Dave, yourself, I know you've been staying low volume as well. Does that continue here today?
Oh yeah, I'm always low volume. If I like 4 games, I'll pretty much knock out a couple and keep them in the opinion category. You'll hear about those as we continue today's show. I have 2 plays. One is a free play. Why not, right? The other one is a best bet, and that's, again, it's Monday, so it's $9. $9. I mean, you can't beat that price at wagertalk.com. So go to my page. You'll see the free play right there. Hopefully that'll get there. The sharp money is on the other side of that game, I should mention, but I don't care. And my game, my best bet, which I think has a good chance.
But Dave, wouldn't that mean the side that you're on, right?
No, I don't. I look at where the sharp money is mainly just to see what it's going to do as far as my getting the best price. Because my opinion is my opinion. I don't give a damn what anybody else is playing.
I'm sorry if you guys can hear that right now, but there's a helicopter flying over my house, so I hope that's
is it a police helicopter?
Not too loud. It's hopefully
Flush
not
it.
coming
I've
out.
heard.
Unfortunately, it's the hospital.
Flush it all right now. Flush it.
What about yourself, Tony? What should we know for the website for you today?
For me, 5-2 to start the season. After 3-0 yesterday, was just really nice to have those. And I'm usually fairly low volume too, and a 3-game package is pretty large for me. Well, I liked 4 games today's card, and I only have 2 games up. I'm still contemplating on whether I'm going to put the night game up, and I ran out of time before the program here. So, but I got 2 early pitch games, $9 a piece, and I really like both of them. So, and I usually, guys, we've talked about this on the show. I don't typically play totals this early. However, I played 2 totals yesterday because I just liked the numbers. I thought they were. I just thought they were. I thought they had terrific value, and I thought the odds makers. I think they're kind of when you can get a 9 in the National League. I don't care if the National League's now gone to the DH. There's just something about the way National League managers still manage, and 9's a big number, I think.
For myself personally, I want to elaborate on what Dave was saying about these free plays because, typically I tweet out a lot of free plays, but I'm going to start using my Wager Talk profile page quite a bit. I cashed a little free play right up ahead with the Dodgers-Giants first 5 innings under, resulted in a 1-1 start after first 5. So I'll be doing that probably about 4 or 5 times a week, getting those free plays written for everybody to go check out. I'm off a 4% best bet winner yesterday with the A's, and I'm back today with a best bet winner, hopefully, with the Angels and A's early game, and then I have a total with a little bit of the later games, guys. So we're going to get into the rundown now, the next section, MLB rundown, quick hits.
Quick note, because the Dodgers aren't playing, and I guess this will be somewhat funny, but I'm almost serious with it. The cardboard cutouts in the stands are showing more life than the Dodgers did this weekend against the Giants. This is the one worry I have about 16 teams making the playoffs. I mean, the Dodgers have it on cruise control right now. They played 2 lousy games against the Giants over the weekend. Don't want to see that. I want to see some enthusiasm out there.
Yeah.
Well, and it's 60 games, right? They don't have time to wait around. We don't have time to wait around.
Dave and I will probably argue this, or at least differ. We'll agree to disagree on some things. But I don't know if you watched the games yesterday.
Yeah, I watched.
Again, I really believe, and you can't put this all on the back of Dave Roberts, but this Dodgers team situationally just does some of the most peculiar things. They make some of this. They make minor league. No, they make Pop Warner decisions sometimes at the plate. They're always swinging for the fences. I hope that they become a little more savvy and play. Know the 6-game season, and we need. If you got to manufacture a run. That's
the point I was making. Is that's the problem.
Yes, you're right.
It's a 60-game season.
Yes,
with 16 teams getting in the playoffs.
Oh, that's crazy.
The Dodgers can play lifeless baseball, and they're still going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, that's point taken. Okay.
Speaking of textbook baseball, Tony, watch out for the Blue Jays.
What are they? Do they have a home? Blue Jays have a home yet?
Yes, Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Fine.
Right. On the topic of that, is that a home? I mean, are we treating that as their home? I mean, I think it's just 60 games.
I'd live in Niagara if I had to live in that area.
It's 60 games on the road, I'd say. Guys, somebody asking here, what's the $9 Monday new here? That's on me for not mentioning it. I'm happy that Matt mentioned that. Every single Monday, all plays, all handicappers, both Sports Memo and Wager Talk plays are listed for $9. 3% plays and 4% plays, regular $25. And top plays 5% are regular $40. So $9 Mondays, and of course, one top handicapper from each site on Tuesdays are listed for just $2. $2 Tuesday handicapper, which is definitely 2 back-to-back days you do not want to miss out on. Our next segment, running through the
game. By the way, Jeremy, that profile pick is you look too good in that. Okay, you're making us look bad. Don't put his stuff up there anymore. I look terrible as it is, and you post a guy who's wearing a sharp suit and everything. Come on,
I don't know one.
Look terrible.
He's got his LinkedIn profile picture on there. Well, that's the best part. Usually I try and dress a little bit nice. Now I'm wearing a Blue Jays jersey, so we see how far I'm going.
Is that a Buffalo Blue Jays jersey or Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah, I'm going to have to get a new one.
I'm getting paid today.
Yeah, you got the sponsorship for Adidas going, Tony?
Yeah,
you won't mention that too many times. Do you wear Under Armour too, or it's just a one-way deal?
Under my arms.
All right, guys. Angels, A's. This is the first game at 3:40 Eastern time. I'll start with you, Matt. Your thoughts, side or total in this one?
Looking at the lineups, they look pretty good, with regards to who's in the lineup. Obviously, Ohtani is in there after pitching yesterday, and Mike Trout is in there. So they've got their 2-3-4 of Trout, Ohtani, and Upton. One thing I noticed, and I don't know if it's necessarily a trend, Bassett last year, 7-2 with a 2.97 ERA in 12-day starts. With regards to Canning, we know how good Canning can be, but he had the elbow injury back in spring training. Who knows if he's completely over it now? He did throw 6 innings in an exhibition game last time out, had 5 strikeouts. A's hitters have struggled traditionally with Bassett, 12 for 52 as a whole. I'm probably not going to play this game, but it is nice to see. I want to see if this Bassett thing's a trend or if it was just he had a really good year last year in the daytime.
Like I said, I do have a best bet posted to wagertalk.com on this early game. Dave, yourself, I want to go around the horn on this game because it is, first pitch won't be taking place in too long. So we'll go around the horn. Your thoughts here, Dave? Just
quickie, I think this is a game where you might see scoring once the middle innings come about. I wouldn't expect Canning to go more than maybe 75 here. Bassett is not really a distance type guy. Get into the bullpens here. Might finally see some scoring late here, even if Ohtani's not pitching for the Angels. Wow, was that bad yesterday?
Tony, are you going to be in action? And yes, it was, and I was happy it was, Dave.
Am I going to be in action what?
In the early game, A's and Angels.
I am in action in this game. Yeah. I am. But I'll go ahead. Listen, I have no problem. I like this game. I like both pitchers. I like the matchups. And with both pitchers, liking both pitchers, obviously the side's out, and I like a total in this game. And I think despite the fact that this ball travels anywhere on the West Coast, especially Dodger Stadium, Oakland, and the Bay Area, the ball travels. I like the under in this game. The umpire, by the way, doesn't have a whole lot of major league starts, but he's one of the young guys. He's 3.5 years in as a full-time umpire, and one of his these guys are really they're computer literate when it comes to the K zone. They know where they're supposed to call, and they get graded on that. And he's already umpired a no-hitter by a guy that probably shouldn't have thrown one. So that's let's go tell it under LA.
Johnny Outlaw here saying lean first 5 under in Oaktown. So he's pretty much thinking
that plays into my strategy, which is if I'm taking an under, it's going to be first 5. If I'm taking it over, I'm going to play full game.
Yeah, I agree.
And Dave, just to elaborate on that, I know that we've talked about this ad nauseum already on this young season, but as the numbers adjust, will you be looking towards full games, or it'll still be, hey, I don't want to deal with bullpens at all?
Well, the problem is it's not just the bullpens, and we've seen the adjustment of the National League totals already because of the DH and the fact that if you get extra innings, you're going to probably get 2 runs, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a good thing if you're an underbetter. I know they adjust the numbers, but it doesn't mean that there's suddenly value the other way.
Well, to your point, I talked with Tony, and Tony says that, I know that Tony's interested in in-game wagering. Yes. Look, this is something I've literally bet personally and had leans towards games that were first 5 unders for me. And then all of a sudden I've looked towards the in-game over. We're looking at the 6th or 7th inning. And that just goes to your point right there. Next game up, I want to hit here. And this is a game, Dave, that you mentioned that you were involved with this team, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Taking on the Padres here this evening on the Monday night slate. What are you thinking here in this one?
If this game was in Arizona, I'd be on the Diamondbacks because I do like Luke Weaver, despite the fact that he's coming off an injury and really hasn't had a lot of preseason action. I think Weaver's a guy who figured things out last year and before he got hurt, and could be a very good pitcher. Luke Casey, however, has spectacular home road dichotomy. He's really good at Petco, and he's not good on the road. This game's at Petco, so I like the Diamondbacks, but I'm staying out of it. I just don't want to mess with Lucchesi in this ballpark.
If the police bust through the door at any time, I'm going to have to head out, guys. So
I hope you flushed it.
Just a heads up. Yeah, no, I thought I was living in a decent neighborhood, but apparently not. This has been an absolute – got a helicopter driving over or flying over, a police running by. I mean –
Actually, I think that that was a siren that went by my house, but I live near a hospital, and it was a rescue wagon, and fortunately, they're not coming for me.
That is very fortunate. We
Yes.
we hope we don't see that at all anytime.
Yeah.
That I don't even know why we're laughing there.
I don't either.
That's not even funny.
They do the helicopter training over my house. So every night we have helicopters. They train the new pilots right here. So
Toronto, Washington Nationals, the Blue Jays, and it's a team that I guess I'll use this word because I'm not going to be a biased kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw it to you first here, Matt. They competed in all three of their games, I guess, to open the season. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was a very interesting series, that's for sure, for Toronto. I just noticed they put the lineup out for the Nationals already. No Juan Soto. Now, I don't know if that means that he's definitely out as of now or if he's gotten his second. Because remember, we're still waiting for that second negative test when it comes to Juan Soto before he can come in. Who's to say that it's not going to come beforehand? They put him in, so who knows? Thornton's an interesting guy, and Anibal Sanchez is a veteran. Dave's got me looking at some of these interesting stats, so I hope I don't steal this from him. But I saw last year hitters the first time around 208 against Anibal Sanchez, 232 the second time, and 296 the third time. Well, I don't think he's going to get to that third time. So,
No.
Not a ton of Jays hitters have seen him before. Joe Panic and the Hernandez kid have seen him. So I think there might be a little bit of an adjustment period for Toronto. Once again, they're traveling again for the second straight time. So if I lean anywhere, it'd probably be the Nationals, but I'm not playing this game.
Next game up, unless anybody else has any words on this one.
My thoughts on that game are that's my free play, so you can check that out at wagertalk.com. It costs nothing.
Great. I love things that don't cost any money.
And I'll throw something in. Sanchez kind of reinvented himself when he went to the Braves, or actually when he left the Braves too. Before he started with the Nationals, he's continued to add different pitches to his arsenal, and so it makes it tough for him to be read. You have to go in and look and study and pay attention. What the heck is that?
It's Teddy Covers calling me.
Brewers, Pirates. I'll throw it to you first, Tony, as you're vibing to the beat of the phone. I'm telling you guys, Dave's a popular guy. I wish I got as many phone calls as Dave did.
I hate my phone. Go ahead.
What are you thinking here in this matchup? But we got the Brewers and Pirates. I'll tell you one thing I think about this Pirates team, and I know that you don't like them, but I'll be betting a lot of in-game overs with this team. Tony, would you agree?
I would. Well, and listen, with the in-game lives scenario, and the way I go into in-game lives, guys, is that I'm looking for middles, especially in the NBA. It's a lot volatile. I every night during the NBA season, I'm getting 8, 9, 10-point middles. In this game, I think you must be referring to the grid show I did where I was pretty much hated on the Pirates. You meant to listen to that. You did, you? Yeah, okay.
I did, yeah. It was entertaining, by the way.
Here's the deal. I think this price is right. I think it's a pretty big number. You've seen some money fall to the Brewers here. At least
I'll say.
Is that what the wow was about, Dave?
Because I just punched up the screen.
Yeah.
This line opened $1 in the 30s, depending where you were. Yeah. Actually, the Pinnacle had it 128.
Now it's minus.
It's 170. It's higher than that. At Pinnacle, it's going up 38 cents. South Point's 170. Westgate 174. Yeah. Holy shit!
And I'm with Dave.
I don't disagree with that.
No, I don't either. I agree with it, actually.
I wouldn't play it now, but I would give Hauser the edge over Brault here. And I guess I can say it. I missed the boat. Probably should have taken the Brewers at a good price here and could have, at worst, set myself up for a freebie by taking back the Pirates at more money than I laid. But I did not anticipate the line going this wild. I thought it would go up, but I didn't envision it being the steam play of the day.
Mid-major Matt, I like the over in this game. Anything from you, side or total?
Well, my side or my totals, my play today, so I'm not going to say that there. You can find that on sportsmemo.com. But Brault is going to go 3 innings. and he's going to be piggybacked by Chad Kuhl for 3 or 4 innings. So you're going to see a couple of pitchers from the Pirates, essentially a quote-unquote bullpen game. I found an interesting stat regarding Hauser, and I don't know if we're doing the DFS stuff as something separate or you want me to say it now, but Hauser, with regards to last year, 130 pitchers through 100 innings in Major League Baseball. Of those, 36 had a strikeout rate of 25% or more. 4 had a ground ball rate of 50% or higher. So he was one of 4 pitchers to have a strikeout rate of 25% or higher and a ground ball rate of 50% or higher. So Hauser's got some good stuff and had a 3.28 ERA when he became a full-time starter last year. So I like the potential in Hauser.
And Hauser, by the way, also led the major leagues in getting sick on the mound.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious?
He's had a problem with that.
I saw that on several different websites. I'm looking for stats on the game, and they're throwing that out as a key stat.
Yeah,
just so you know,
it's
he
not
may
the first,
throw up on the mound.
It's not the first time it's happened. So
Dave, does he lose weight? Does he lose strength for his
I don't
pitch?
know.
Or what's the deal with
seems to be fine afterwards. So, there's a lot of hockey players. Glenn Hall, who's probably one of the best goaltenders in the history of the NHL, he got sick before every game. Before every game. And Bill Russell, who many people was certainly the best basketball player of his era. Bill Russell also has said that he used to get sick before every game. I don't know. I don't get sick before every selection I make. I get sick after some of the selections, but I'm
telling you, before this show, you don't want to see my bathroom before this show. It was a rough one. It was
I don't ever want to see your bathroom.
Matt, do you have did you look at the lineup of this Milwaukee and Pittsburgh game? Did you look at
I don't think it's out yet.
I haven't seen it.
Listen, Hauser's good. He has the skill set when he's on to be really good. You guys both described that. The one issue he has, and I'm telling you right now, the one issue he has is much like Clevenger did early in his career, he struggles with left-handed hitting. So I kind of was curious to see what not that the Pirates can throw a bunch of Mickey Mantle left-handed bats at them, but this is a game where I would play Hauser on the run line. I just would. I just think this is that kind of game, and you're going to get probably a small plus price. Well, not now at $1.70, but.
A question here from Alex, and I understand that you said to me, a couple minutes ago that there's no definite entry spot with in-game wagering. I think that your way of in-game wagering could be different than mine, different than Dave's, different than Matt's. This is just how the industry works. And but he said, what's a good industry spot or entry spot that you look for, whether it's side but mainly total, going into a certain inning or a certain spot, certain pitchers that you're looking for game plan wise heading into a game?
I think that was for you, Tony.
I think we might have lost Tony.
I think Tony froze.
He does look like he froze.
He was so shocked by that question. He goes, I don't have any entry points. Yeah, he's just shocked. What about you guys? Do you live bet?
Yeah, on occasion, but it's usually only on games that I'm watching. So I can, if I have a feel for what I think might happen. I don't get that same feel from like looking at a box score or a ticker or something like that. And I don't have any,
Dave, that's the last time I can ever ask Tony a question from the audience. I shocked him. He went into shock. Can't even move.
Became catatonic.
Usually I don't do as much like Dave. I have to watch the game. Yesterday I put up, I had the over 17 for the Phillies Marlins game. After that first inning, it looked good and obviously it pushed in the end. But Dave's right. You have to watch the game and get a feel because you can watch game casts and you just don't know when somebody could be coming out. Is it hot? Well, all sorts of stuff. So I recommend if you're going to, you have to watch the game instead of just going off a game cast.
I hope the viewers know how much fun I have doing this show because it's good to have a good laugh every now and then. If you could do it during the shows, it's that much better. Tony, if you're watching the show, or I hope you come back. We definitely want to hear more thoughts from you. That's for sure. Guys, Seattle taking on Houston here. We have Houston as massive favorites. They're going to be massive favorites throughout the entire season for obvious reasons. I don't know if you guys are fine with calling Houston the Houston Cheaters or not.
I don't care about that stuff. I got a feeling there were more than teams that we know about that were doing stuff. It's just
definitely,
they were better at it.
Dave, real quick, I'm at a campfire on the weekend, and there was a huge debate. My friends love to have sports debates, and one of them is saying they would have won anyway. He's yelling at somebody else saying they would have won anyway. They would have won anyway. And the other guy's saying they had the advantage. They had the advantage. Does that,
I don't know.
We're going to be able to tell.
We'll never know, but they got caught. The thing is, they got caught and they really didn't get penalized. The guys who got penalized were the manager, the general manager, and a future manager of another team and a past manager of another team. How about the players? Nothing. They're the ones who were doing it.
Yeah, exactly. But to your point, Dave, like you said, they got caught, and that's what the argument was that I was kind of.
It's like this. It's kind of like this. If you commit a crime, and you don't get caught, well, you got away with it. It doesn't mean you didn't commit the crime. So I think other teams committed the crime but didn't get caught. And I don't know. I'm too old to hate a team because they cheated. Besides which, I'm from New England, so Patriots and everything. But so I should not. I'm not going to talk about other teams' violations.
You'll
Bear
just
Bryant,
make your
Bear
razor.
Bryant, Bear Bryant.
Well, look, I mean, it's all like John Wooden is regarded as the greatest guy on earth, and he was a great coach, phenomenal, and a wonderful man. And he also had a booster who was probably the biggest violator of rules in the history of the NCAA, Sam Gilbert.
Yeah.
He was giving the guys Cadillac. Here's a Cadillac. I mean, it was everybody.
Dave, I wanted to throw something.
Everybody knew it, and they did nothing about it.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Guys,
Everybody's cheating. Everybody is.
Everybody is.
Dave, I want to throw something to you real quick. We saw in the chat, you've mentioned it a few times. I'm trying not to cover you up with putting this on, but if a team travels the night before, it's the first game in a road city, does it negatively affect them the first game of a new series?
I don't really put much into it, but I might this year. I want to see what happens because we are operating under a completely different set of conditions than we've ever had in sports before. And I do think there could be a disadvantage for a team that has to play on the road and then travel to another road location, and they're playing a team that's staying at home. So that's the case with Toronto, Washington today. I think, and I could be dead wrong because it's just an opinion, and I put that in the write-up. But I think it's an advantage for the Nationals.
Matt, is that a specific bet on spot?
Well, especially for the Sunday night games. I used to love fading the Sunday night road team, the team that was traveling under Sunday night baseball, because you think about it, they're not flying to their next city to midnight, 1 a.m., and that's assuming a game ends at a normal time.
And now you got to go through all this other stuff.
Right.
Well, let's factor in this. I mean, we hear about in the NBA, Lou Williams, gets the emergency exit, goes ahead and goes in the strip club and stuff. But now, guys,
listen, he had to get that pizza.
Yeah, it was a good menu.
Great pizza there.
Good menu there. Yeah,
the wings are really good.
You know what? By the way,
as road stuff goes, Dave, there's no extracurricular activities going on that we know of, right? So that's
no.
That's to me a big factor in the handicap with that is that they could be doing other things, not sleeping in your own bed, so on and so forth. But this time, it's just straight up travel. This team is going to be these guys. They better be good friends. They better have something to talk about besides baseball because they're stuck with each other for 60 days at least.
Yeah, going to definitely chart it and see how it plays out.
Tony, I apologize for what happened. I hope I didn't put you in shock with the question I asked you. I was just asking about some in-game wagering advice.
Right, I heard you, and then I had a power flash here, so but it came right back on. I was able.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, I know, right? It's only 105 or 110. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, it's not bad at all. The in-game live, I don't have. There's no one single thing that I could say that would help anyone as far as when you get into in-game live betting. Here's what you do. There's a couple things you need to have. First off, you need to have a fast internet. You got to have when you're doing in-game live, in 3 or 4 seconds, you can lose a number. You'll miss a number. It's just the way it is. And you need to have no satellite TV. If you're watching everything on, it needs to be cable, so you don't have that delay. There's a few things you have to have if you want to be successful. Those are the first two things, and then you look for situations. Dave said about a pitcher today. For the most part, I can watch a basketball game and get a good feel for the tempo, the pace, who looks like the one play, who's trying, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And it's so volatile. Like I said, I can almost every night get 1 up to 5, 8 or more point middles, and I'll take that 20-1 anytime.
I see a note here that just came through. I'll announce it since I don't know if you saw it, Andrew. Mid-Major Matt will be the $2 handicapper tomorrow
at Sports Memo.
At Sports Memo,
running a 5-1 MLB run. I don't see why not.
Prez is at Wager Talk. So,
well, it shows what I know. That's for sure. Well, 16-0 run. He better be, right.
I'm using my Slack.
Listen, if you want the kiss of death, for the most part, Then be your $2 Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, and that's I'm generalizing
with Matt in the room. Tony saying that, eh?
Yeah,
okay.
that's a sports memo.
I'm not paying attention to Tony anyway. It's okay.
Join the rest of the people in line.
Okay, so since it's just been clarified to me, Matt, $2 handicapper at Sports Memo, and the Prez at wagertalk.com tomorrow. Once again with Prez, I just have to shout it out. 16-0 run, all sports. Unbelievable run. Prez 90 for a 90-day all access pass. That's every single sport, not just one, not just two, every single sport he is doing on the season. We're going to go with the next one that we didn't mention, which is going to be the Kansas City Royals and the wonderful Detroit Tigers. I'll start with you, Tony. What do you think here?
Well, I'm going to say it until they start again. This is what Kansas. I said it yesterday. This Kansas City Royals team swings and they miss a lot, and that's not. If you look at their numbers from last year, you're going to find that that's not necessarily true. There's some guys who will make contact, Merriweather and a few of the other ones, but Solar. These guys are up there swinging for the fences. Kansas City can't pitch. They struggle to score runs or to hit a barrel up the bat with runners in scoring position. It's tough. It's impossible for me to play this Kansas City Royals team. This Detroit Tigers team is one of those as well in that same category. This Central Division, I wish now that we're talking about it, I wish I had some futures like Dave mentioned on the Twins, the way the Twins are looking and the way Cleveland's struggling to hit the ball. This heavy hitting lineup yesterday that scored those runs was it was an aberration. At this point in time, I know it's jumping the gun, and what do they say? Overreacting, but right now the Twins own this division. They own that division.
Only thing I'll say about this game is that Fulmer is an opener for the Tigers.
Yeah,
so if you're looking,
that's right.
If you're looking at his stats, just kind of put a fork in those because they don't matter for an opener. He's only going to pitch, an inning and a third, maybe 2 innings tops. He might not even go that. So let's see how he adjusts to the role. Don't really want any part of Montgomery. By the way, we forgot the Seattle-Houston game, so we'll have to jump back after we're done with this one.
And my thoughts on that game is I have the first 5 Royals basically this evening at even money. You can go read on Sports Memo. My reasoning for it, basically, Dave just said part of it is Fulmer's an opener. Everybody behind him's garbage. And I think the Royals lineup is better than the Tigers lineup.
Yeah, Dave, sorry. We got into the fact that they cheated and we forgot to go over their whole game. Right. So you go right ahead.
Well, I did like this game over and I didn't play it. And then I thought maybe I will, and then it went to 9.5, so I decided not to anyway. I am interested in the game, though. Kendall Graveman, look, if you followed him, he has not had much success at the major league level, and that might still be the case. He's a guy who's relied on a 2-seamer that just isn't conducive to getting big league hitters out. And sometimes this happens, even with ordinary guys, is they find a new pitch, and it works for a while for them. And Graveman has suddenly started throwing a 4-seamer, and he's touching 97 with it. I think he's going to be confident, at least. So it gave me a little pause for concern there. Josh James will go for Houston. They are stretching him out. This is not a temporary thing. He is going to be in their rotation. But I don't know that he's ready to go more than maybe 75 pitches at this point. And the Astros bullpen toiled a lot of innings this weekend. So I think this is going to be a game with some runs, but I didn't want to go that deep on the card, so I didn't bet it.
335 live viewers on this video right now across all the boards. We appreciate you guys all for tuning in to Wager Talk TV. Once again, we're very close to 50,000 subscribers. Dave is personally going to buy you a brand new car if you are the 50,000 subscriber.
No, that's not the prize.
Sorry, wrong message.
Actually, I'm going to give them your new car. Congratulations to Andrew, by the way, who's getting new wheels. No, we're going to come up with some kind of a prize. It's not going to be anything that's life-changing, but it'll be fun.
Team total-wise, Matt, with this Houston Astros team, like I mentioned off the top before I got into the discussion about the their season last year, is something you're looking to bet with this team? Obviously, we're going to see some really high prices with this team. And I was doing it quite a bit last year with this team. Are you going to look at that all team totals over?
I don't play a lot of team total over. As we talked about in the very first show, I'm more apt to play the under on teams that I think will get stifled by good pitching. You know, the Garrett Coles, the Max Scherzer, stuff like that. That's kind of where I look. You know, I actually looked, a lot of the Astros hitters didn't have a lot of success against Graveman. Altuve was 9 for 25. But then again, it's a different pitcher from 2018. So you got to kind of throw some of those numbers out. I don't think I'm going to play a lot of team total overs. But look, Graveman could come out, show that new pitch Dave was talking about. Maybe it takes him a little bit of time, and then the Astros score those runs in the bullpen. So that's why I kind of don't like the overs as much as I like the unders with very good pitchers on the mound.
Are we good to move to the next game, guys?
You want
Yes,
to?
sir.
Next game I wanted to discuss here, if we want to keep going with that Kansas City, I'm pretty sure we got through it. The one with the Mets, because we know the game they're coming off of. Do we have any Mets fans in this panel?
They're not going to admit to it.
I'm a Mets fan.
No.
I'm a Mets
By the
fan.
way, I do understand there is a movement to try and insist that Edwin Diaz change his name to Ed Luz Diaz.
What's he do?
Never mind.
No.
I missed it, but I'm
Dave,
I
I've been
wanna
to
know.
one comedy club in Vegas. Were you there that night? Or?
No, but it's EDWIN, and it ought to be EDLOSE.
The cardboard cutouts were leaving after that game yesterday.
Well, the good news is they get to face a Red Sox team that honestly doesn't look like they care. Now, I watch a lot of games, but I always watch the Red Sox because that's my team. There's still some fan in me. And we know that this isn't going to be a good Red Sox team, but I mean, boy, do they look flat. So we'll see what happens with the Mets coming to town tonight.
They're going to have to win. They're going to have to put up 7 runs in games to get wins, it seems.
Yeah, the pitching's not good, but neither is the Mets once you get past the top of the rotation and the amazing Jacob deGrom and maybe Matz on occasion. Walker, I mean, the numbers are just bad. They're just bad.
Bad. You're right. They're bad.
The whip is really high. He's got control issues. He's hittable. Batting average, wow. I mean, their numbers last year was scary bad. Batting averages, first time for the order 302, and they got worse after that. So, you know, I know the Red Sox aren't exactly swinging the bats right now. These last 2 games against the Orioles were pretty pathetic. But Walker looks like a guy they should get to. Osik will start for Boston. I don't know what they're doing after that. I would guess
Zach
Godley. That's what I was going to say. I thought Godley would end up getting the bulk of the innings. I actually like Godley in that role, by the way, as a guy who comes in and throws multiple innings. I'm not crazy about him as a starter, but I think as a long reliever, innings eater type, who follows the opener, he might do just as well as guys like Ryan Yarbrough did, like in Tampa Bay last year, for instance. I think it's advantage Red Sox here, but I don't trust the team in their form. And boy, the Mets got embarrassed last night, and we'll see how they react to that.
Tony, is there a side or total that you're leaning towards in this one, or have you pulled trigger yet?
I think Tony froze again.
He's really good at playing a golem or something like that.
You know,
He looks like a cardboard cutout right now.
That's it. Yes, I think that's it.
We got to plop him in Dodger Stadium.
All right. We'll talk to Tony tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
All right, so I'll say something. I mean, look, Godley's got good numbers, and I think Dave's right, but I just don't know if I trust him off the street. I mean, they essentially signed him, and now they're throwing him in there in that ballpark and stuff. And look, the Mets lineup, if Alonso ever figures it out, I mean, Alonso has struggled so far this year early on, but it's not a bad lineup. I mean, I would consider the over, but it's a really high number. And once again, like as Dave said, their offense has been Boston's offense hasn't performed up to expectations after that first game.
I want to get into some DFS stuff because we have said that we are going to be doing that. And Matt, I know that you do quite a bit of DFS at different spots. We talked about last week when I was on the show, when we started things out about sometimes stacking rosters with certain players on numerous teams or on the same team. Is that something you're looking for tonight, or spreading it across the board when you're creating your lineup for tonight?
Well, so I didn't love a lot of the starting pitchers tonight. And, you know, usually, and look, we saw yesterday, and I apologize to everybody. Vinny Velasquez was terrible. Luckily, I put in some Trevor Bauers in there, although he didn't get a win. Like, I don't love any of the pitchers at the top. So to me, I went with Adrian Hauser. I hope that he's going to get a lot of strikeouts tonight, maybe get that victory. We saw the seam. That means he probably is going to get the victory tonight. And by going with a lower starting pitcher here, you have the opportunity to stack as many Red Sox. If you think that Alonso is going to break out tonight, if you think that maybe some of the Royals are going to get some hits, you've got a whole bunch of Astros who could get some hits tonight. So to me, I'm going lower once again on the starting pitchers by going with Adrian Hauser. He's very cheap on FanDuel, very cheap on DraftKings as well, and then just build around them with some good lineup, good hitters tonight.
Dave, Tony, anywhere we should be heading tonight with our DFS action?
Honestly, I'm not going to BS about it. I just completely forgot about it this morning, and I'm not going to just.
I'll BS about it.
I'm not going to throw something out off the top of my head because somebody might bet money on it, and I don't want that to happen.
I'll BS about it. We don't get to play. We don't get to participate in those kinds of formats here in Vegas. So it's something that's not prevalent. It's not in my front and center on my to-do list every day. But tomorrow I'll have something for you. If you guys will have me tomorrow.
And Suarez, 6 home runs against Leicester in his career, so I'll play that as well as one of those guys that I'll put in my lineups along with Hauser.
Tony, 5-2. That's correct on the season so far.
Those 5 every 7 games. I'm going to win 5. I'm all in.
I love it.
Me too.
We've got Dave Cokin, 10-0-1 baseball run. Mid-major Matt on a 5-1 start. He's also the $2 handicapper tomorrow at sportsmemo.com. It's $9 Monday. Every single play, every release is $9 at both websites. This has been a great show. About 55 minutes, over 340 live viewers at one time. For Matt Josephs, Dave Cokin, and Tony Finn, my name is Andrew McInnis. Thanks for joining us here on First Pitch. We'll see you tomorrow. Regular time, 7 days a week, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Bye.